asks, "Has any woman had an easy pregnancy?" I chuckle. It's a momentary lapse of judgment. I straighten in my chair. This is no laughing matter. As far as pregnancies go, mine was relatively easy. Sure, I'd felt nauseous throughout the first trimester, and my feet swelled during the third. But these are ailments one expects to endure while pregnant. I handled my emotions too, for the most part. A pleasant wife and a mom-to-be. JP would agree on that too. Has someone talked to my husband? I'm just not sure what usually happens when someone calls child services on one parent. I couldn't get a hold of JP before coming here. He had been in meetings all afternoon. He's up to speed on the situation. We'll talk about next steps once we wrap up our chat, he says. Chat. As though he's been equally contributing to the conversation. I'm starting to feel like this man has lost his passion for this job. I had a fairly smooth pregnancy. No concerns. JP can attest, I say. Your husband mentioned an upcoming work trip. Does he travel a lot? He's the vice president at an advertising agency. He visits the Montreal office frequently. His family is from there, so it's really his second home. I'm not sure if I'm trying to justify his travel to this counselor or myself. Have you been having regular appointments with your doctor? He asks. He checks number 4 off his list of questions. I narrow my eyes and silently count 10 more until he interrupts me by clearing his throat. I had my 6-week postpartum checkup a couple of months ago and everything was fine, physically and mentally. You can call my OB/GYN to confirm. His silence pressures me to continue. I'm in the process of finding a new doctor, though, because of the move. The move. A key event for his notes. A young couple packs up their glamorous lives in the city for the suburban high life filled with playdates and Costco shopping trips. The wife, abandoned with her newborn and her thoughts. And what about with your other doctor? He checks his notes. Dr. Louis, your therapist? I haven't gone to Dr. Louis since college, I say. JP must have mentioned her when they called him. He's been trying to get me to see her since I got the baby blues after Addison's birth. Okay, so nothing that stood out in your pregnancy, then? Nothing. The light flickers above us, and I squint, adjusting my eyes. My only negative feeling during the pregnancy happened early on, but I refused to mention it to this counselor. I had been reading a novel about a high school shooting and had to put it away by the second trimester. Not because I was afraid my baby might be a victim in a school shooting, but I was worried my baby would grow up to be the shooter, that I could have a negative impact so profound on my child. Why don't you tell me about your birth experience? He says, his eyes still focused on his notebook. I'd rather not go into detail about my birth experience with a man. Would he like me to begin with my 2nd-degree perineal laceration? I pick at the side of my thumb and scan the room for something familiar, something comforting. But all I see is a sad plant that hasn't been watered in days and a faded fire evacuation plan. Looks like my nearest exit is the window behind me. I tell him about the code pink, baby in distress, and that Addison spent her first days on Earth in the neonatal intensive care unit due to a slow heart rate. I don't tell him about my fears during our separation. While Addison tackled those early days on her own, anxiety was my constant companion. I worried she would find it hard to trust me after her abandonment. As a woman who never got along with her own mother, my concern for my future relationship with my daughter had been almost as worrisome to me as her health. You're all right.